Tonight on EKB Evening News at 6, the latest health numbers show that Eastern Kentucky has got some work to do. Good evening, I'm Cindy Mae Johnson.
And I'm Gary Sloan.
The annual county health rankings have been released, and once again, sadly, the numbers paint a grim picture for our region.
EKB News reporter Shannon Deskin spoke with the area health officials today about the data and brings us this report.
The 2015 Kentucky Health Rankings were recently released, and many Eastern Kentucky counties did not fare so well. In fact, every county in southeast Kentucky ranked between 100 and 120 out of Kentucky's 120 counties. Health officials in Pike County, which was ranked 113, say the majority of the health issues for its residents can be prevented.
We always been in 116, 115, 114, now we're at 113. We have a lot of work to do to improve the health of the people in the county, in Pike County. But I think 80% of the problems that we have could be prevented.
The report found that 33% of Pike Countyans aged 20 and over reported no leisure time physical activity, and 36% of adults fall into the obese category. But Dr. Rangel has faith that those numbers can be changed if more people are educated about living a healthy lifestyle.
I think we need to focus in one, education. We have these excellent diabetes programs, and also in physical activity, obesity, because everything is related. I mean, we cannot just separate one thing because you have to make a complete change in the body.
The County Health Rankings and Roadmaps program is designed to help communities identify problems and implement solutions that will make it easier for people to be healthy. And Dr. Rangel believes the future looks much brighter for Pike County than its past.
The future is much better. I think in general, when you educate people, you empower the people to do better.
To see more information from that 2015 report, you can go to countyhealthrankings.org. For EKB Evening News at 6, I'm Shannon Deskins.
Health officials in Floyd County are also working to improve the overall health of their residents, as that county ranked 119th out of Kentucky's 120 counties in the 2015 rankings. In fact, Floyd County has the second highest rate of children and adults with diabetes in the state. The Floyd County Diabetes Coalition is launching an awareness campaign in an attempt to educate people about diabetes, and has placed information table toppers in two local restaurants, Lizzie B's and Billy Ray's.
A lot of Kentuckians have diabetes, and the CDC estimates that up to 25% don't even know they have it. So if someone's sitting at the table at Billy Ray's and they're reading this table topper that we've put down there, and they see that they have increased thirst, increased hunger, increased times of going to the bathroom, then they might want to think, maybe I should be tested for diabetes, and ask their doctor to do a simple blood test. It's one little drop of blood, and it doesn't take any time at all, and it could prevent a lot of complications for them.
Now, the Floyd County Health Department offers free diabetes screening for residents. For more information or to join the Floyd County Diabetes Coalition, call the Floyd County Health Department at 606-886-2788.
Another area looking to generate some positive movement in the region's health in southern Magoffin County. There, South Magoffin community activists will be holding a community health fair on Thursday. Services to be offered include cholesterol and blood pressure checks, diabetes and cancer screenings, dental and vision exams, and consultations with doctors. Claudia Hartley, a VISTA worker assisting the group in organizing the event, visited the Daybreak Morning Show to talk about it. She says the health fair is important because many people in southern Magoffin County do not have easy access to medical services.
So the South Magoffin Community Activists, it's a citizens group in southern Magoffin County, and I don't know if you're familiar with that area, but it's way far south down there in Magoffin County. It's sort of at the intersection of Kentucky 7 and Kentucky 404, and they have a number of goals. But one of their big ones is to get a permanent community and health center built in southern Magoffin County, because there are parts of the county where it can take you an hour to get up to Salyersville and get to a doctor. And if you've got limited financial resources, maybe you've got some mobility issues, maybe you don't have a car, that can be a really big challenge. So getting the health care you need can be very, very difficult if you're in that part of the county.
Hartley also said the health fair brings access to preventative medicine to the community, potentially saving residents from much higher costs to their health and their wallets in the future.
One piece of data that I find really interesting about Magoffin County is that it has twice the level of preventable hospital stays compared to the state average, which means people are getting to the doctor, but by the time they get there, it's so serious they need to be admitted. And that ends up, I mean, it's a lose-lose, because they're experiencing worse health, and they actually end up experiencing higher costs, because by the time they do get to the doctor, it is so serious that they have to be admitted. And it doesn't have to be that way. So we're trying to reduce those barriers by bringing healthcare professionals, healthcare services to where people are at, and making the cost free, so that there is not a cost barrier and there's not a distance barrier. And that's really the goal of these events, is to get services to people who are in need and in an underserved part of the county.
Yeah.
The health fair will take place from 2 to 6 p.m. Thursday at the South Magoffin Volunteer Fire Department. All services will be offered free of charge.
A Pikeville man has been arrested and charged with pretending to be a police officer in order to steal money. 45-year-old Robert Sykes is accused of going to a Julius Avenue residence on April 18th, claiming to be a police officer, then forcing his way inside. Once in the home, Sykes allegedly questioned the occupants and asked to see identification. When one of the occupants handed Sykes his wallet to comply with the request, Sykes allegedly took $900 in cash from the wallet, then left in a vehicle with 2 other people. Sykes also allegedly carried a large black flashlight and had a large knife strapped to his body. Pikeville police officer Scotty Hamilton investigated the case. After tracing Sykes' whereabouts to a Red Creek residence, he requested assistance from Kentucky State Police to make the arrest. Sykes was taken into custody shortly after midnight Saturday morning and charged with second-degree robbery, second-degree theft, impersonating a peace officer, and persistent felony offender. He remains in the Pike County Detention Center under a $50,000 cash bond.
2 Floyd County students were taken to the hospital this morning following a bus wreck. Floyd County Transportation Director Bonita Compton said the students were taken as a precautionary measure and there were no serious injuries. The bus was sitting in line in front of the Prestonsburg Elementary School during the morning drop-off when a minivan rear-ended the bus. The occupants of the minivan were not injured. Damage to both vehicles was minor, and both vehicles drove away from the scene.
Glad to hear that's all it was.
Absolutely.
Coming up, the Mine Safety and Health Administration says inspections done after new coal dust rules went into effect show the overwhelming majority of mines are in compliance.
And the East Kentucky Science Center observed National Astronomy Day on Saturday. We'll show you how, coming up in 2 minutes.
Each year, the East Kentucky Science Center observes National Astronomy Day with free events. This year's Astronomy Day was held Saturday. EKB News reporter Shelby Steele attended and brings us this report.
Each year, the East Kentucky Science Center and Planetarium at Big Sandy Community and Technical College host Astronomy Day at the Science Center. Astronomy Day is an event where adults and children can learn and experiment with things they might not be exposed to in everyday life. Director Steve Russo says this is something everyone can enjoy.
It's a free day here at the Science Center. We do a free day every year for it, so people can come in and see planetarium shows. They could make star finders, UV bead bracelets, and all sorts of other activities here, both for kids and adults.
Russo says since this is a more hands-on environment, children can retain the information a lot longer than what they would in a normal classroom.
This has been proven through planetariums and science centers all throughout the country. You know, kids usually in school won't remember what they did 6 months ago, but you talk to adults that'll say, I remember going to the science center or the planetarium when I was 5 years old, and they remember the lesson they did. Now they're in their 40s and 50s.
Nathan Armstrong works at the East Kentucky Science Center on Saturdays. He has mostly studied biology and knows very little about astronomy. He says he doesn't let that get in the way because he has learned a lot by working here.
I only work here on Saturdays, but
I don't think I'd ever give it up. I could probably work here for free just because it's a really good atmosphere. It's an educational atmosphere, and we do a lot in the community for kids to learn and just anything outside of astronomy too.
Russo says parents often tell him that this is one of the best places for their children to learn.
One of the things a lot of parents tell us all the time, which is why we do days like this, is that there's not a lot of science places like this throughout the region. So it's good for them to bring the kids out kind of in an informal setting so that they're not in school sitting in a classroom and learn different science and more about science of things that they might not cover in other areas, like in their regular schools.
For EKB Evening News at 6, I'm Shelby Steele.
Well, if you missed that event, don't worry. You have another opportunity to experience the Science Center for free this coming Saturday, when Super Science Saturday will be held. We'll have more on that event later in the week.
The Mine Safety and Health Administration says results from the first 8 months of inspections follow the implementation of stricter coal dust rules show the new guidelines are highly achievable. Now, the new rules went into effect back in August. Since then, 41,000 inspections have been conducted. Of those inspections, 99% were found to be in compliance. Assistant Secretary of Labor for Mine Safety and Health, Joseph A. Mann, said during hearing of the House Committee on Education and the Workforce's Subcommittee on Workforce Protections last week that the results are good news for coal miners who will breathe less dust. Prolonged exposure to coal dust causes respiratory disease such as black lung.
Even more signs of change in the coal industry as one of the country's largest exporters of coal has announced plans to expand into exporting liquefied natural gas, also called LNG. Latrobe, Pennsylvania-based X Coal Energy and Resources announced it's forming a new company, XLNG. The new company will take advantage of X-Coal's existing infrastructure and contacts to export liquefied natural gas. According to X-Coal, the global LNG market is expected to grow 67% by the year 2025. The company expects XLNG to be operational by 2018. Well, coming up, Big Blue Nation is mourning the loss of one of its twin towers over the weekend. Jamie Johnson will be here to talk about it.
But first, EKB Chief Meteorologist Lathan Hopkins will be in to let us know if this beautiful weather is going to last. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Well, you said we're going to find out if this beautiful weather will continue. It has been just lovely.
It has. Is it going to continue?
One more day. That will be tomorrow.
Well, we'll take it.
We'll take that one more day before the showers move in for Wednesday and Thursday. But the weekend, not too bad. We'll take a look at that here in just a little bit. Doppler radar, nice and quiet. A very active day on Saturday with severe weather across parts of the Commonwealth of Kentucky and Southwest Virginia. But yesterday, today, all in all, not bad to say the least. And you can see that we've had a few of those clouds continuing to move in from the north to the south. And that's why we've seen mostly cloudy skies through much of the day. But notice a lot of clearing, central Kentucky, even parts of southern Indiana. So we will see some clearing skies overnight tonight, and that's going to set the stage for the frost possibility. We're talking about that here in just a second. Almanac for today, 62 degrees officially, 42 the overnight low. Still well below average. 71 is where we should be this time of the year as far as a high temperature is concerned. And for a low, near 50 degrees. Not even we're close near a record high, 92. That was set back in 1986. Sunrise tomorrow morning, 6:37. Sunset at 8:17 as the days continue to get longer and longer. Temperatures right now, well, 60 is a popular number. Inez, Prestonsburg, Pikeville, Salyersville, Jackson, all the way down to Whitesburg. But notice 50s, 57 here in Grundy, Wise, 51 in Dorton. Yeah, temperatures are set to drop tonight and again into the upper 30s across much of eastern Kentucky, across western parts of West Virginia, southwest Virginia. Once you get into western parts of Kentucky, we're back in the 40s, but still well below average for this time of the year. As a matter of fact, we do have a frost advisory for one county here that we cover, and that is over in Wise County, Virginia. Not included eastern Kentucky, Dickinson, Buchanan counties, but I definitely think the possibility is there that we will see some frost for the Tuesday morning commute. Now, I know I brought my plants outside from the inside out, so it's time maybe to bring those in for one more night. I plan on doing that here once I get home. Satellite and radar composite across the entire eastern half of the country. There you see those clouds continuing to filter in. What we'll have to watch during the day on Wednesday is all the cloud cover and severe weather down to the south. This is a system that is going to remain mostly to our south. But notice what happens. It continues to move from the west to the east and then tries to take a little more of a northeasterly track. And as it does so, that's when we have the best chance of rain moving in. It looks to be during the day on Thursday, maybe even into early Friday morning, but by Friday afternoon, we dry out, and that dry weather should continue for the day on Saturday as well. All right, let's talk about the pollen count, sponsored by Faith Pharmacy, Adams Plaza in Pikeville. For Tuesday, 9.5 out of a possible 12, back approaching the high category. And of course, as those showers move in Wednesday, Thursday, we are back down to 7.8. Tuesday, the high temperature 68 degrees, 50% chance of rain on Wednesday, 64. 60% chance of rain on Thursday, 63 degrees, but by Saturday, we're back to normal. Oh my goodness, 73 degrees? What's that all about?
We'll take it.
We'll take it, but again, watch for the frost tonight.
In the meantime, we wrote a little note there during your forecast.
Yeah.
What's that?
What plants?
Oh, I have peace lilies. I have elephant ears that are getting ready to peek out of the ground.
You.
Just got to cover them. Yeah. You. I can't believe you're surprised.
We learn something new every day.
Shocking.
So I'm not buying it. 7th and 8th grade students from Stumbo Elementary in Floyd County got a first-hand look at possible future careers in the healthcare system last week. The students took part in Big Sandy Community and Technical College's Career Craze Camp at the Mayo campus in Paintsville. The students took part in hands-on activities designed to give them an up-close look at careers they might consider in programs that the college offers, like nursing and respiratory therapy. Big Sandy's holding a graphic arts camp this week and plans to repeat both camps in May.
I wonder if they had anything there about broadcasting.
I didn't hear that. It's too bad.
We'll be back with sports in 2 minutes. Well, surprising news and sad news about one of the Twin Towers.
Yeah, you know, UK basketball fans, you learn to love your players almost like family. So when one dies, it's something everybody needs to know about. It's you mourn it all together. Mike Phillips, best remembered as one of the Twin Towers that Coach Joe B. Hall used to help capture the 1978 National Championship, passed away over the weekend after an apparent fall in his Madison County home. The 6'10" center from Manchester, Ohio, played for Kentucky from 1974 to 1978, averaging just over 10 points per ball game his senior season, when he, along with Rick Roby, were dubbed the Twin Towers, leading the Wildcats to a 30-2 record. The Madison County Coroner's Office is still investigating the exact cause of death. Phillips was 59. The latest mock draft of the NBA boards have either Andrew or Aaron Harrison locked in as draft choices somewhere late in the second round, except ESPN's Chad Ford, who thinks both Harrisons will be misfires. Ford believes both twins showed their true colors in the final moments of that Wisconsin loss during the Final Four. Ford also says the 3 shot clock violations, forced air balls, and holding the ball will be too much for the Twins to overcome with prospective NBA teams. Ford singled out Aaron Harrison's poor shooting from the outside this year, despite having better talent around him, which led to more open looks for Aaron. Mother Nature forced the All-A State softball tournament to change its format over the weekend in Owensboro. Heavy rains, along with the threat of tornadoes, caused tournament officials to put a halt to the traditional double elimination layout. Pikeville dropped their opening round game of pool play to Bethlehem 13-2, and then lost in the losers bracket to Model 3-1. Now, 14th region champion Jenkins scored a victory over Todd County Central 8-5 before dropping a 6-4 decision to Bishop Brossart. The weather prevented the Lady Cavaliers from playing in the losers bracket. Holy Cross of Louisville defeated Hancock County for the state title 10-6 in that tournament. Speaking of rain, the weather pushed back this weekend's start of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series from Saturday night to Sunday afternoon. Richmond International Raceway played host to only its second day race in Cup Series play since 1998, and this day will belong to Kurt Busch. We'll pick this up with the final restart of the race. 27 laps to go. Kurt Busch fending off a challenge from Jamie McMurray here in the number one machine, and everyone else was seeing nothing but smoke. Busch would pull away from the field en route to his 26th career victory, his second in the number 41 car. Busch and teammate Kevin Harvick would finish 1-2 for Stewart-Haas Racing on this day. After missing the season's first three races due to NASCAR's suspension for domestic violence and then being cleared of any wrongdoing in a court of law, the victory was kind of a bounce back of sorts for Busch, who says the trials to start the season have created a bond between he and his team.
It's all about team people and chemistry within the organization. And for us, the last few weeks, we've not given away wins, but we've made some small mistakes and we've had some things go against us that it made us stronger. It really put a bond between all of us to go, you know what, this 41 Haas Automation Chevy's got some speed. The wins will come. We don't need to force it, and let's just settle in for the long run. And
also, some late-breaking news this evening. Five-star wingman Brandon Ingram has chosen to play for Duke over Kentucky, Kansas, and North Carolina. So Coach Cal missing another five-star potential recruit for the 2015 season. That's a look at sports.
We hate to lose them, but we hate to lose them to Duke worse than anything.
Yeah, that's right. Definitely.
And you'll keep us up to date when more news comes out about Mike Phillips, I hope.
Yes, we will. Investigation by the coroner's office there in Madison County should lead to more answers in the coming days.
Thank you, Jamie.
And we'll be back in 2 minutes. So Lathan, tomorrow looks good, but tonight a little frosty.
Could see some patchy frost again tonight into tomorrow morning. Temperatures in the upper 30s, but into the upper 60s tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies, and then the rain will return Wednesday into Thursday.
Okay.
And Jamie, you'll be doing Sports Guys tonight.
Andrew and the gang will all be in. I'll be there as well. Some Reds baseball on the agenda tonight, and after Sports Guys, full throttle video tonight, making its debut.
Brand new video show with Ted Meadows. Can't wait. Sounds good.
Yeah. That will do it for tonight's EKB Evening News. Remember, you can get more local news anytime by listening to the radio stations of East Kentucky Broadcasting.
You can follow EKB News and EKB TV on Facebook and Twitter. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.